Ladies and gentlemen, it's theory time yet again because Dexter Resurrection has literally has me up at night sometimes. I think that's probably pathetic, but whatever, it's true. There are so many ways this story could go for Batista. So I've written out a list of things. Look at this list. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I wrote out a whole list of all the scenarios that could possibly happen with him. So I'm going to read them off to you. And again, guys, this is me writing stuff on my commutes. This is me writing stuff in the middle of the night when I just pop my eyes open. Just joking, that doesn't happen. But these are all the scenarios that I'm going through that could possibly happen with Batista. And again, I'm no wizard. I'm no Nostradamus. I just like the show. And these are things that I'm thinking, okay? So yeah, I saw a video recently by Cody Leach talking about how he'd be pissed if Batista dies. And I just want to say before I even get any further into this list that I do agree. I mean, I don't think anyone wants Batista to die, but this story has been so good that I'm open to the idea of it personally if it's done right and actually still continues a manhunt sort of thing. Do I want it? No, but I think there's ways they can make it work. So I'm actually going to walk through the ways in the scenarios where he dies first, and then I'm going to go to the ones where he lives. So starting out, obviously, the biggest one to me is him being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And for those of you Better Call Saul fans, you know exactly where I'm kind of going with this, with a beloved character who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm talking about season 6, episode 7, for those of you who guys know. But my idea is Batista using the AirPods tracks Dexter to Prater's place, and he follows. However, Charlie intercepts and kills Batista at Prater's discretion in front of Dexter. And it causes a sort of thing because even though Dexter is a psychopath and all that stuff, there is still a bit of a bond between Batista and Dexter, even if it didn't appear that way in this last episode that we saw where they started the showdown. I think in some way, shape, or form, it would have an impact on Dexter, and I think it would be absolutely tragic for the character. Now, this is assuming, because we saw a little bit of this in the trailer, that he was on the phone with someone about this. This is assuming all of these die scenarios are going to be assuming that Batista already contacted Miami Metro, meaning Quinn and Masuka, to let them know that he has kind of an idea of what's going on with Dexter. So that way, if he were to die, it could pick up. Like if Batista went missing, Quinn and Masuka could be like, oh my God, okay, there's something here to this. You know what I mean? So that's theory number one, how I think it could go. It could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Theory number two, Harrison takes initiative. So when Harrison finds that Batista is tracking Dexter, he goes into like a fight or flight sort of mode. Not wanting to lose his dad a third time, he takes matters into his own hands and kills Batista in front of Dexter. I wouldn't like to see this because I think they've done such an excellent job with Harrison overall this season. To see him do that would be a dick move, and I think all of us would be pissed at Harrison again, but who knows? I think there is something to say about Harrison not wanting to lose his father again, and I think obviously we've seen Harrison has this moral compass, but also a Dexter-like compass where when he gets angry, he could kill someone. So I think obviously because Batista poses a threat to the one person left in his family, I think there's something to say about that being a thing. And I don't think that's original. I think a lot of people have already talked about that being a potential outcome of what happens within the story. And then the last of the three Batista dying theories I have here is Dexter kills him. I think this is by far the least likely, but upon being tracked and caught by Batista in a kill room, like when Dexter's about to kill someone, and we've seen this in the trailer, he's wearing that thing that makes his face look like this, you know what I mean? And he's like, and then you see Batista has a gun. I don't know, that could be nothing, but in this hypothetical, Batista catches him in the act about to kill the ponytail killer or something like that. And, Dexter being Dexter, he has to take matters into his own hand and kills him. So those are my three theories. And yes, I was reading off of the phone. Those are my three scenarios where he dies. Again, all of these are assuming that Batista tells Miami Metro, Quinn, Masuka, and all of those people. And then from there, it is discovered that obviously with Batista missing, things get ramped up. Those are my hopes. I mean, again, I don't want to see Batista die. That's why I also have a few scenarios where he lives that we're going to go through in a few minutes. I don't want him to die, but if there was one way out of those theories of mine that I think would be good to see, it's that him being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Again, no one wants to see that, but I do think it's worked in the past. And I think there's potential for something like that to work narratively in the story as well. But ultimately, for Batista to get intertwined into Prater's group, I have another theory, and that's something that I definitely want to talk about. So we're now going to transition over to the scenarios where he lives, because there's some scenarios there too, 100%. So the first one is, and I call it, because I'm such a genius writer, they make a deal. Dexter is caught by Batista with the ponytail killer on his kill table. Upon Batista's discovery, Dexter tells him he already took out FBI's most wanted, Gemini, as well as taking down Lady Vengeance and the tattoo killer. Reluctantly, Batista agrees to enter into a deal where he will go after Prater and let Dexter slide. I don't think it's going to be that simple where he's going to let Dexter slide. But I think maybe they're going to work out a deal of some kind where it's like, okay, if you could lead me to this and bring these people to justice, these people like the ponytail killer, Prater overall, this secret society, then that's going to help you. I'm still going to arrest you, but maybe I won't throw everything at you, sort of thing. I think that way it gives Batista a little bit like, okay, yes, he is a bad guy. Yes, LaGuardia got killed along the way. Deb got killed along the way. All the other people, Lundy, everyone got killed because of Dexter. But his vigilantism has done good that even Batista couldn't do. I think there's something to say about that, and I think realistically, even though obviously we all want the manhunt of Dexter Morgan, I think there is some leverage there that can be held against him. You know what I mean? I think there's something that can be done in a way that feels, I guess, earned. You know what I mean? Something like that. I doubt he's going to let him slide, but I think there is a way that you can incorporate that to be okay, fuck you for you doing the things you've done, but at least good has happened along the way too. It's not all bad. You know what I mean? So there's that. Okay. Number 2, Claudette and Batista team up. I mean, we already know they're kind of teamed up, but to my point, if you watched my video talking about how I think Claudette's partner is the actual New York Ripper, you'll know where I'm going with this, but if not, click up here because the video's up here. But after it's revealed that Claudette's partner is the New York Ripper, Claudette becomes much more sympathetic to Batista and understanding of his situation. So they decide to team up and go after Dexter. With Miami Metro equally involved, they begin to go after Dexter, and it eventually leads to Dexter being extradited to Miami. I think this one, if the New York Ripper story happens, I think this one definitely has the most legs to run away with. It's a stupid pun, to be honest with you, but I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. I think you're shooting what I'm loading. I think ultimately there is going to be something that leads Claudette, even though Dexter has already instilled some doubt in Batista, or in Claudette about Batista. I think they're still setting something up there. I don't know why else they'd be giving Claudette and the partner guy all of this screen time if it didn't amount to anything. They're going to answer the New York Ripper question 1,000,000%. That's definitely going to happen. But that being said, it's just a matter of where they're gonna go with that, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It could be Jonah Mitchell, but it could be this. And if it's this, I think that would make a really interesting tag team, because Claudette's clearly excellent at her job. Batista is obviously hellbent on catching Dexter. So that could lead to something really interesting. Maybe Claudette's the one who discovers Prater's group and gets killed. Time will tell. We'll see. Maybe Claudette's partner is a Prater informant. We don't know. Okay. Then my last theory for how the scenarios where he lives is, and I didn't even write this one out. This one's blank, so I'm going to shoot from the hip here. Claudette betrays Batista and he's on his own. So obviously I think we had that set up the most in this last episode. We clearly saw that Batista, there was a little bit of doubt there from what Dexter said, and Batista has to do things in his own way, so he put the AirPods in the case and all of that stuff. Ultimately, though, if this were the case, and if Batista were on his own, I think it's going to make his mission, you know, from a jurisdiction standpoint, much more hard to stand on, because he could go after him on his own. And I mean, yeah, once he witnesses something or has enough evidence, he could report it to Claudette and all of that stuff. But until then, it's really tough to say where this is going to go. I think we're going to see right now kind of like a Dokes sort of situation where, you know, Batista obviously follows Dexter around for a bit just to see what's going on and see, you know, what's good there. Where that will go, I don't know. What I'd like to see with that is maybe Quinn and Masuka coming to New York after he calls them and is like, this is what's going on, and maybe they help him with his investigation. But ultimately, those are my 3 scenarios where he lives. Those are my 3 scenarios where he dies. Honestly, it's very likely that every single one of them will be wrong, because the show has continued to subvert my expectations in a really good way, and we may be looking back at this by the time the series ends or the season ends, and you guys all may laugh at me. And that's okay, but guess what was fun? Making this video, and I hope for you, it was fun to watch this video, because I'm not really a theory guy, as you guys know. I've only made a couple theories on the channel, but I'm having so much fun with this show that I just want to keep talking about it, because it's that frickin' good. I'm not lying there. So yeah, with all that out of the way, definitely let me know your theories in the comments down below. And if you're not subscribed already, what the hell are you doing? We're just getting started with Dexter Resurrection and talking about it. And I'm going to be doing more video essays on Dexter, because I know you guys want to see some stuff. And if you have ideas for that, also let me know down in the comments. But yeah, with all that out of the way, be sure to follow me on X and Instagram. On X, it's Jerry's_takes. On Instagram, it's Jerry's.takes. And I have exclusive stuff there. Like the other day, I ran into Murr from Impractical Jokers literally pulling a prank on us in New York City. And I filmed it, and it's on the Instagram. So there's fun stuff like that that is just never going to make it to the main channel. So yeah, with all that out of the way, thank you again so much for watching this video. And until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.